Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session. Today, we will be looking at direct and indirect speech, punctuation. But first, what is direct speech? When stating the exact words of someone, we call it direct speech. On the other hand, when reporting what someone said, we call that indirect speech. To show direct speech, we use quotation marks, double uplifted commas. When writing a direct speech, we use quotation marks to denote the exact words spoken by someone. When writing indirect speech, however, quotation marks are not used. Let us look at a few examples in direct speech. Use celery juice, said the doctor. Notice open quotation marks, close quotation marks at the end of juice. Also observe the comma is within the quotation marks. Now the comma is used to separate the words spoken from the tag in the sentence. Let us look at the indirect speech. The doctor told me to use celery juice. Notice to was used to form the infinitive verb in the reported speech. There is no quotation mark. Let us look at another example. Are you afraid of the dark? Asked Sunil. This is direct speech. We can see the open and close quotation marks. Notice that the question mark is within the quotation mark. And then at the end of the sentence is the full stop. Do not be confused and put your question mark at the end of that sentence. Remember, we are writing and punctuating the exact words spoken by the speaker. Let us look at the indirect equivalent. Sunil asked if I was afraid of the dark. Notice the inclusion of if and also observe the tense of the verb has changed. And we now have if I was afraid of the dark. In another example, we have indirect speech. She shouted, "No, I am not moving." Notice here we have the exclamation mark, and it is, of course, within our quotation. It's at the end of this sentence because we have the tag going at the beginning of the sentence. Also notice that we have the comma separating the tag from the words spoken by the speaker in this sentence. And the indirect equivalent to that is she shouted and said that she was not going to move. Notice the change in the tense and the inclusion of the word that. Let us look at how reported speech affects time. Could you bring my ring tonight? Asked William. Put it in a box, please. We've already understood and looked at where our punctuation goes, but I want you to pay careful attention to where the tag is and where your quotation marks are. Also notice your quotation marks encloses your end punctuation. But our focus is on how reported speech affects time. So let us look at the indirect or reported speech equivalent. William asked me to carry his ring that night and told me to put it in a box. So you notice instead of saying tonight, we say that night. And another example of how reported speech affects time. She said, I will be there tomorrow. That's direct speech. and the indirect equivalent. She said that she would have been there the next day. Notice the change in the time from tomorrow to the next day. Previously, we had a change from tonight to that night. And that's it for now. And as usual, I have exercises for you to do. So complete and enjoy. That's it for now. I hope you've learned something. Hope you've learned a lot. Goodbye.